Hola amigos, this is Level 12 and today we're going to be talking about my real issue with Reddie. Now, I've made one video already saying how I get it, I understand it now, and I'm all for it, but then I realized no, I still have a problem with it and I don't feel right about giving y'all like false information or information that I no longer consider true or like not the entire picture, so y'all get where I'm coming from and I figure out my real issue with Reddie. If you couldn't tell by this lovely graphic. So there's this thing of the fandom versus what's canon. And fandom, the people on Instagram and on the internet, portrays their love mostly when they're kids. Now, I don't know how old they were in the first It chapter. I think they were like 12 to 14. Pretty young by my book. Now, when the original It came out, I was 12 to 14. I think I actually was 14 when it first came out? Yeah, I'm pretty sure I was 14 when it first came out. So yeah, they were probably 14 because Finn Wolf, the guy that plays young Richie, we're the same age. So yeah, they're about 12 to 14 and that's when their love is mostly portrayed in the fandom, and it sometimes is very suggestive art as young children, and that makes me uncomfortable, and I don't like that. And that's where my issue lies, especially because in canon, there wasn't a lot of romance scene in It Chapter 1 between, Richie and Eddie, and it's just like, maybe not, because I think the directors made Richie struggle with his love life in It Chapter 2 as an afterthought, and it wasn't a forethought. Now, I don't know how the book portrayed it, because, I'm not reading that. I've read enough Stephen King to know that his writing is trash, or, sometimes he embellishes, or he was high when he wrote it, or whatever. There was very little childhood romance shown in It Chapter 2. We mostly just saw, other than, Richie writing their initials on the bridge, we mostly just saw him, that one little scene of the token, and then Pennywise going, "I know your secret, I know your dirty little secret." That's all we got. That's it. That's all. One and done. And it's mostly adult Richie in love with adult Eddie. And they're both in their 30s by now, and it's not weird to see the art of them. But it's this weird 14-year-olds kissing. Now, I'm not saying you can't ship them when they're this young. Listen, I did it with anime characters when I was 12. So I get the mindset that a lot of these people are in, but it's just weird, and this isn't even the worst of the fan art and the fan fictions and how the fandom treats it. And there were a bunch of people on Instagram a couple weeks ago being it's really weird how y'all fantasize about these characters, and I agree, it's weird, cause they're children basically, and you're thinking of these really weird suggestive scenes or suggestive art, even if it's not meant to be, it kind of looks that way, and it's weird, especially when you have them as adults. And listen, I have no problem if you want to make suggestive fan art of them as adults, but these are children when they did this. Imagine Jaden and Finn trying to get jobs as adults, and this is still on the internet. Can you imagine? I mean, there's still fan art of the original It kids, and one of them is the voice of Peter Griffin from Family Guy, the kid that played Richie, the little redhead. I don't know. It's weird. It's suggestive. And listen, this isn't even the worst of it. I don't go. And listen, I know these fonts. I've used these fonts when I was on Wattpad making horrible fan fictions. And listen, you can see right here on this first one, in tiny little print, characters will always be aged up. Then why use this picture? What do you mean aged up? You mean 16? That's still weird. Still don't want to read that. I don't want this. No, they're children. If you're gonna make lemon fan fictions, is that term even still used anymore? I haven't written those kind of fan fictions in a while. Oh my gosh, I'm not even in the loop anymore. But if you're gonna make lemon fan fictions, which simply replaces this word, if you're gonna make lemons, then at least make them adults. I don't know why you would put the cover art with them as children. The other one didn't even say they're gonna be aged up. It's so weird. And then we just have this weird art, and I don't know. Stop. That's weird. Stop, please. It's weird. And then we even have things like this, and I'm just like, no, stop, please. Dad, weird. It's like, maybe these are all written by like 14-year-olds that were very like super into it, but now, as a near adult, this stuff kind of makes me nauseous, and I don't like it. And that's my real issue with Reddie. My big gripe with it is that people take it so like this way, so with the children, and I'm just like, please do not. And I'm like, it's so weird. Like, I think finally what my super big issue with Reddie was, not only is it the writing and how annoying the love story came out to be in It Chapter 2. It could have been done so much better if it had just been seen in Chapter 1. I wouldn't have nearly as big of an issue with it. But it's the fact that they're children and this kind of stuff of them as children exists. And I'm just like, oh my gosh. It makes me nauseous, and I know it's not made probably for people like me. It's made for other 14-year-olds that are like, yes, my ship. And it's just like, I'm pretty sure it's mostly just 14-year-old girls making this stuff. Maybe some guys, I don't know. But just as an ex-person who used to be very heavily into fandoms like this and wouldn't care what I looked up. And again, everyone I looked up was usually from Hetalia or Black Butler, let's be real here, because those were big in my day. I know the mindset, and I know it's mostly teenage girls doing this. And it's just, granted, if they're young, if they're like 12, 13, 14, I have no issue. But if it's like 20-year-old adults doing this, like, stop it. Get some help. You're being weird. And again, just one final thing. My real issue is the portrayal of them as children in these very suggestive and provocative fan arts and fan fictions. And it's just, it's really making me not want to be part of the It fandom because, listen, the It fandom has turned this very dark, sinister Stephen King thing into ooh-woo soft boys. It's horrible. I hate it. I don't want my horror movies to be turned into ooh-woo soft boy things. Please. Get your trash out of here. Anyways, thank you for watching. Like and subscribe for more random fandom things. Ciao, chicos.